To whom agree? Greetings and salutations. The universe is just doomed. 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 Doomed.
Hi, welcome back.
It's us, Nicole.
And Tessa.
And Kim is here.
As
Susan, our
Paluzzo.
assistant. Paluzzo, our assistant. And you may have noticed that you did not get a little piece of the movie before you heard us because we are
We're not going to do it anymore.
We're not going to do that no more. Because one of the only tedious things about doing this podcast is sitting here for 20 minutes before we start recording going, what's a good quote? Can we find it? Can we find audio of it?
We've talked about it before. We're like, oh, so when you're watching the movie, try to remember like a quote or whatever.
Yeah, and we never
did
do.
not. No, it did not.
So we don't know at this moment in time, and we will not from here on out know what the title of the episode is until we listen back.
Ooh.
And decide from our own dialogue.
What should it be?
What should it be?
What'll it be?
What'll it be? So I should grab my phone. So before we get into this, first of all, we both think we saw this in the theater.
Yeah.
It's 1996, 2 Days in the Valley. I didn't say that yet.
Oh, yeah. By the way.
It's in the title. That part will remain.
Yes, that will also be there.
It won't be that
surprise
movies. It's just our
Could you
quote with
imagine
no what it's about.
You'll see.
Gotta guess. Part of the fun.
Well, that's what the pictures would be for.
But I had not watched this. Well, my husband had never heard of it.
Yeah.
And I've been with him since I was 23 or 21 or something.
I hadn't seen it in a very long time, and I feel like that's because it's not on anywhere.
It's not ever on anywhere. So good luck finding this to stream.
It's on Showtime, apparently.
Yeah, if you got Showtime, that's
right.
The only place
They
to
tricked
find
me again, where it's like, oh, it's on Paramount Plus. Just kidding. It's Showtime.
If you have Showtime.
Showtime, you stupid bitch.
You
stupid fucking
bitch.
You ignorant slut.
Tessa, you ignorant slut. How could you think it would really be? So yeah, Halloween Town has nominated himself our new research assistant on the internet, and he has found us.
Oh, did he, Kim? Have you heard this?
Wait a minute.
I know.
He's not calling himself that, but he likes to look this stuff up. So he sent me a little bit of. Yeah, he's the Valley.
He could be the Valley.
So this is what he sent me. So number one, Siskel and Ebert both liked 2 Days in the Valley.
I feel like that's rare. I feel like that might be a shorter list of how many movies did they both give two thumbs up to.
And they really liked Charlize Theron, which I did too.
This was her first movie and first nude scene.
Yes,
I mean,
we will
hey
get
girl,
there.
hey girl, hey. Hey
Letting
girl,
James
hey.
Spader get up on them
All
titties.
right, all right.
I don't blame you.
There's a lot of shifting ankles in the movie theater.
For sure. For a lot of ice down the pants. Which he also mentions that the ice down the pants was an ad lib by James Spader. And I said, probably because he really had a boner. He probably jumped up and was like, you know what?
Right?
Guess what this character's going to do now?
They had already filmed that Eric Stoltz part where, like, did he have a boner?
Because that was a nice side. You a strong man.
Oh,
she
you
was
so
like,
big.
Because
I mean,
it looked right. It was in
it
the
looked
right.
like a boner under a towel. I've
sure
seen a couple of those.
Just a few.
Coming out like it's a towel rack. Like, oh, you're so funny.
So he said that this was Charlize's third audition. She thought she had a fat face. And I said, well, she had a baby face.
Oh,
she
yeah.
looked like,
like a little cherub baby angel.
Adorable.
She looked like a Helga Svelgen.
What a name.
I know.
And speaking of the names,
Right.
the writer got the character names from the veteran cemetery in the Valley. He wrote it in the cemetery in 3 days.
Oh, so 3 days in the Valley. He
spent
wrote
3
2 days in the
Valley.
Valley. Shaved a day off of there.
I guess so. It said it all came from depression. He burnt all his other scripts and drove until he ended up at the cemetery, and that Teddy is based on
on him.
On the writer-director. And that
John
Danny
Hertzfeld.
Yeah, Danny Aiello was a good friend and would call him up at 2 a.m. every year telling him to finish before he burnt up all of his scripts and came up with this new one in the cemetery. And that James improv the ice in his pants. Danny wanted a sequel and have them end up in the pizza shop and do the right thing.
Oh, that would have been fun to just have them like a little callback.
Yeah.
Just a little, not like a thing, but just have them there
Just
working.
if you know, you know.
Right. I like a little nod. I like a little winky wink.
But we never got it.
Well, I mean,
He was too busy writing replies to Madonna.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was before this, I think.
I know.
But still.
I know. He was.
That's why all his hair fell out.
A ring of fire.
He ripped
hair.
it out thinking about Madonna keeping that baby.
What do you think it was? She stressed him out so hard.
You're only 18. Ugh. You're not even my daughter.
You're not even my daughter. I'm going to record a whole response.
You made
track
everyone
to
think
that.
I wanted you to have an abortion, and now I'm mad.
Well, I didn't
would
really,
never.
because I'm an Italian dad. I'm just
Right?
really disappointed in you, but you better not have an abortion.
An accent.
I don't know.
You turned into a rabbi or something. I don't know what happened. Billy
I don't
Crystal.
know.
Yes, that was a Billy Crystal character.
I don't know. They just come up sometimes. I'm like a schizophrenic
Princess
Jim
Bride.
character,
There you go.
Jim Carrey or something.
Yeah.
They just surface. I don't know. It's like I'm like a medium. For fucking.
It's not her fault. She
It's
just
not my
comes
fault.
to her. She's like
It's
Hank
just-
Azaria. She just gets possessed by.
I'm possessed. It's not even real accent, so it's fine. I'm just making shit up. I'm not saying this is French, but
She's got on a beret. And she's
I
holding
got a baguette.
So let's get into this cast because it's a
Right?
little bit extensive.
It's a little, but there's a lot of people in this cast, so let's get going. Like we said, Charlize Theron as Helga Svelgen. Hot ass James Spader as Lee Woods.
You guys, this is Salacious
I know.
September.
So this is why we chose.
We got
this
towels
movie.
on our chairs.
We
Let's
do,
just-
because when we get to that,
Oh, it's bad.
we've got a bowl of ice.
We're ashamed already.
I
Okay?
know,
We haven't
I-
even said it out loud
I
yet, and we're
sat there
ashamed.
watching this movie with my head down.
Yeah, right? Like, oh, fuck, why is that hot?
I watched
God
it on
damn
my
it.
little phone,
Oh, did you?
so it made it less.
Oh, no, I watched it on
Whatever,
the
on
big,
the big screen.
girl.
Well, I knew better because I got a almost
It had been
12-year-old
so long, I
running around the
forgot.
house.
I mean, I knew there was. It's why we picked it for this month, is I knew it was sexy.
Right.
But I forgot how much skin is going
There's a
on,
lot of skin,
and ice things
and
happening,
then, like,
and
the fucking chick fight.
yeah.
Hey, now.
that was pretty hot.
I
Speaking
mean-
of chick fights, it was with Teri Hatcher
Oh
as
yes,
Becky
as
Foxx.
Becky Foxx, Danny Aiello as Dosmo Pizzo.
Dosmo Pizzo. And I
Dosmo.
can't make fun of these names because they're names of real people buried in the veteran cemetery.
I know, we
because
can't
I had
even-
planned to
I know.
say some shit about these
And
names.
now I'm glad. So Becky Foxx with 2 X's,
Right? Or was it Roy Fox? Which
Oh,
one?
yeah.
Did he make one of them up? It was just the last name
I
Fox.
don't know. Well, speaking of Roy Fox, her ex-husband Peter Horton, who I get mixed up with Steven Weber all the time.
I have the same note that why is he the third brother from Wings that didn't exist?
Yes!
Because he is like those two dudes put together. But wasn't he
Yes!
on like 30 something? I feel like I saw his
I
face
think so.
a lot. Was it 30 something?
It was
Yeah.
30 something. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he's the ex-husband of Teri Hatcher.
Mm-hmm.
Glenne Headly as Susan Parrish, which we talked about her in Dick Tracy. She was Dick
she was,
Tracy's gal.
Tess Trueheart. Eric Stoltz as Wes Taylor.
Peter Horton. Oh no, we already said him.
we got
Marsha
him.
Mason as Audrey Hopper.
Right, the mom from Drop Dead Fred.
Oh yeah.
And I get her mixed up with special appearance by Louise Fletcher, who is also she's the landlady. Evelyn,
She could
or
totally
whatever.
be a Louise Fletcher. That's like
I know,
those
like
names seem
Marsha Mason and
interchangeable to me.
Louise, like they give me the
Uh-huh.
same energy.
Yeah. And she was
Yes,
only,
Nurse
yeah.
Ratched and Little Lizzie's mom.
Yeah.
They were both terrible.
Wow. Greg Cruttwell is her half brother Alan Hopper, so they
That
share a
fucking
father, I
face.
guess.
Father, mother, I'm not sure.
Well, they have the same last name. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Paul Mazursky as Teddy Peppers.
I love that name, but I was going to make fun of it.
Teddy
Teddy Peppers.
I kept wanting to call the dog Teddy.
It looked like a little
It
teddy
looked
bear
like
dog.
a little teddy bear. It was so cute. How could you do that in front of Teddy? How could you do that in front of Teddy? I mean, we'll get there, but if you,
I know.
if you know, you know.
There's no way. I would
How
have been so
could
mad if
you?
he really did.
I know. Like, even play like that. Don't even play
mess
like that in front of
around.
that adorable little dog, you fucking asshole.
Keith Carradine is Detective Creighton.
Michael J. White in there as Buck.
This fine ass looking
Spawn.
We'll get there, but yeah, the way
Uh-huh.
he
I know. He
carry
comes in
this
there
man
like, shut
across the
up,
street."
bitch. He just picks him right up.
Yes,
off the
he
street.
sure does.
And is his name Buck because the club was called Buckskin? Yes? Why
because
is
he didn't get a
stealing
name.
cars?
I don't know. He didn't get a name. You didn't even ever hear
Well,
him.
that's
All
true.
you heard him speak was telling people to stop their cars.
Maybe that was just that part. Kathleen Wong is Midori. Oh, the girl in the massage parlor.
Oh, okay. Her name was Midori. I don't think it ever said her name.
I don't think they ever said it. That's why I was like, whatever. Cress Williams, Deshaun from 90210, in his film debut as the golfer.
Yes,
I was
he
watching
looked
it, I
so
was like,
familiar. I'm like,
Is
who
that
is
Deshaun?
that?
Has he grown up and left West Beverly High?
Yeah, he was looking good too, but he was only in there for a minute.
I know, just for a sec. Well, Cress Williams was always fine. You know what? That's who Donna should have ended up with. She shouldn't have
That
married
would have been
David
nice.
because he always had it for Donna. Why, I don't know.
I do not know.
But he always had it for Donna, and they were always friends, and he was fine as fuck, and she should have gone with him.
I
But
agree.
Felice wouldn't have she wouldn't have allowed that. She didn't like that shit.
Right.
Felice was a bitch.
It was too early in the 90s.
She was also just a racist. Ada Maria Maris as Detective Valenzuela, the other detective with whatever. And Lawrence Tierney for a second.
Yeah.
As the old guy, and Nicole Mercurio as his wife. In that one scene where they're fighting upstairs.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
What's happening up there?
Yes, I remember.
I guess that's what they do in Tarzana.
Oh, the valley. So let's get into it.
Let's do it.
So Danny Aiello, Dosmo,
and
James Spader, Lee, are in a car spying on Teri Hatcher.
Right, they're in the hills. They got a bug in her place. They can hear what's going on.
So Lee
in
can
there.
hear her, but Dosmo has the binoculars. So one of them can see and one of them can hear.
Exactly. And she's having a nightmare.
So you think I thought she was fucking or
I
something
thought
with
so
those
too.
noises.
And
I thought he
was
was just joking or something.
Right? He was like, oh no, she's having a nightmare. He knows that because he's a psycho.
Right. And so she's in there having a bad dream, and you see a man asleep on a hammock in the same room. Who has a hammock up in their bedroom?
They had one. When you see it later, when they go back there to investigate, you see a hammock on the little patio.
But what a
thing.
weird thing to have in your bedroom.
She was like, you got to sleep in, I'm going to make you a hammock, or you better make a fucking
it
hammock.
doesn't fully explain how we got into this situation, but you find out from what's going on that this is her ex-husband.
Right.
Who's been fucking all kinds of people.
Well, yeah, she's an Olympic something or other. Skier? Okay, yeah. She's an Olympic skier, never medaled because she's been seeing her husband out there in Lillehammer with some fucking blonde broad while she's trying to get the gold.
And for some reason, he's back up in her house talking about he wants to get back together. He made a mistake.
She lets him. Okay, first of all, foolish.
Don't let him in the bed.
Don't let him in the bed.
Don't let him in the goddamn house.
Don't let him in the house. But if you must, make him sleep
you
on the fucking couch.
Yes, not in the same room.
Don't do that shit, Teri Hatcher.
And in your panties. Don't go to sleep in your panties. Lois Lane.
Lois Lane. I know.
This lech is fucking right here because he
Lois is going to lay down with this
practically.
man. I know. He immediately gets in this bed and not given any indication other than, I guess you can sleep in this bed.
Because she's like, oh, I'm crawling because he falls out of the hammock and he's like, oh, I'm crawling like a dog, like you want. Yeah. She's like, oh, fine, get in the bed. So he manipulates her. He gets in the bed and immediately starts trying to jump her bones. And she's like,
stop.
No, she's like trying to fight him off.
But then he really
she starts crying because she's like, no,
he's like, oh, well, fuck, my boner went away now. What are you crying for?
Oh, he's not one of those guys who gets hard for tears because they're out there.
I know they are.
Blah, blah, blah. We don't see any of that in here, at least.
No, at least
as
there's
creepy as James Spader is. I don't think he's getting a bone for tears. Not yet.
No, not
we don't see him enough. I bet he did.
Maybe,
but we don't see
point.
it in this film.
I don't think he does. He just doesn't. I don't think he registers emotions.
Maybe that's what it is.
I don't think he registers emotions. I don't think he would like it one way or the other.
Right. So now you find out he came. Oh yeah, he came because it's their anniversary. But you don't know how long they've been split up. I guess not that long. A year or something.
Well, it's 96. What was the Lillehammers?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Was that
you asked
year?
that like there was any
chance
I'm looking
I was
going to know.
Like, hey, Nicole,
the year
when
of
was
the
Lillehammer
Olympics.
Come on,
you know me. I got a encyclopedic knowledge of all years.
You don't
of
know
Olympic
when
Games.
Teri Hatcher skied in the Lillehammer?
I didn't even realize she was a skier till the end.
I didn't either.
I couldn't
those
figure
were
out
her
what
boots
sport
and
it was.
shit that was in there.
She finally said something
Got
about
it.
skiing. I think at some
and
point.
her little
94.
94. So before that,
So
she
2
wasn't
years. So
gonna
they've
go
been
for
split
another
up at
one.
least 2 years.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, so they're hearing all this. She gets him off. It's like, just go to bed. And once they go back to sleep, they're like, all right, let's head in.
Yeah, they roll up in this Buick, and this isn't Dosmo's first barbecue. And he wants to know, is there a dog?
Because dogs don't like Dosmo.
I don't like dogs. Dogs
You're going to
don't
get
like
a lot
me.
of dogs in this one, you guys. You can thank Danny Aiello for that.
Right, because he's not another fucking dog.
So many dogs. Not so many, only
No,
really
it's
like
just
two
like two
dogs, but he
dogs,
keeps
but, like,
talking about it.
He doesn't like dogs, okay?
So as soon as he says
Dogs.
that, cut to a dog barking.
Right.
And Evelyn has showed up at Teddy's trying to get his rent. He's got this cute little teddy bear.
Of course. It's
terrier
like a little,
or whatever.
yeah, little terrier dog.
And he's like, he doesn't have it. And she's like, come on, you're putting me in a
Right,
hard
like,
spot.
I don't want to be an asshole. And he's like, no, it's
I'll
fine.
have it
Like,
tomorrow.
You're not an No, he's like, I'll be out tomorrow.
Or I'll
'cause
be
he
gone.
hasn't-
I'll be gone tomorrow.
He hasn't had the rent for 4 months.
Oh, fuck.
Now at this point.
I can't even imagine.
In the valley?
And she's like, what about, your agent? He's like, my agent doesn't return my
doesn't
calls.
even-
And then
yeah.
you see him go in the bathroom where his Emmy is on the shelf.
He's got, it's like it's toilet paper holder.
Uh-huh. And
as
then he
his
throws
Emmy.
it in the bathroom trash.
Right, because what the fuck?
It's from
it was like from
1982.
yeah.
So it's
what
been
was
over
it
a
called?
decade.
Like
Oh, I didn't
Arthur
write that
something?
part.
I don't remember.
So yeah,
I
so
don't
he
remember.
looks at himself in the mirror. He has this tiny little gun.
Yeah.
And he puts it to his temple, and the dog starts barking.
I
He's like,
know.
and I thought he was going to kill himself
How
in front of this
fucking
dog.
dare you? Because
you-
he tries to get the landlord to take his dog.
Like, you trying to feed your dog some sweetmeats?
Oh, not sweetbreads.
Or sweetbreads?
Sweetbreads.
You're trying to give shoot yourself in the head and
I
leave some
know,
brains for
little
your
Teddy
puppy?
is going to have to eat your face.
He's going to love it.
Oh, I know. He's not
It's
going to
gonna
feel
be
bad about it.
delicious.
Teddy, but then he'd have to put Teddy down because he's tasted human meat.
Yeah. I mean, he's pretty small. I'm sure he'd be easy to
Right, but
fend off.
So
but-
was the rabbit of Cannabinong. Was also small.
What is that?
From Monty Python.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yes, okay.
That was also
okay.
small.
That's true.
About the
That's
size
true.
of Teddy. And then fuck that everybody
That's
up.
very true.
With the big pointy teeth.
But so he pulls the trigger and it's not loaded. It just
Right.
clicks.
He's like, well, I'll load it when I'm ready to do it. Like, don't do this in front of Teddy.
Yeah, he did
Or
try
Teddy,
to get her
fucking
to...
Bogey.
Yes, Bogey
Again,
is the dog.
I'm going to get confused. Bogey is the name of the dog. Teddy is the name of the human.
Yes. So now we're back to the Fox bedroom where Lee and Dosmo are like cutting phone lines and Lee's putting on his rubber gloves.
Right.
And Lee injects Teri Hatcher in the butt
Yeah.
with something. And Roy wakes up to Dosmo
he,
putting a gun in his mouth.
Like, yeah, in his mouth. He's like, oh, you be quiet now. Like, mind if I smoke?
While
Which
I'm sitting on
doesn't
top
seem
of you with the gun in
advisable.
your mouth. Yeah.
But then, here comes Lee and just like fucking mounts him.
Oh.
Oh my.
God damn it, you psycho.
Oh.
Pulls out this
Jesus.
timer from around his neck. You got 1 minute to decide the rest of your life. I'm going to ask you 3 questions. If you lie, you die. And you're like,
Oh no.
whatever, psycho.
Okay,
Panties getting wet.
Right?
Oh,
Whatever, you
why,
fucking
James
creep.
Spader?
Mount me like that.
Right? And so he shows her this picture of Charlize Theron looking
She's
fucking
dead.
sexy as hell.
I know. Like,
That
the
is not a
hottest
picture of a dead
girl.
body.
No.
She looking fine.
You know
she
what?
all
If they would ever do that
posed
shit,
like
well, because I guess you wouldn't be looking too carefully at the wounds if you were looking at titties instead. Because I know
Right.
they've done that in like, you know, like actual things where people try to put out a hit on somebody and they show them like they always end up talking to an undercover cop, like fucking
course.
always. There are
course.
no assassins, y'all. They're
They
all
don't
undercover
exist. They're
cops.
all
They are
cops.
recording you in that
They're
parking
all
lot.
cops.
Back out now.
don't trust him.
But they will do that where they like gussy up the intended victim, like they did get shot, and
Yeah.
they go in there and collect the money, and that's when they bust them. There's one that's like a cop video of the gal, and they tell her that he's dead, and she starts freaking out, and then later he comes out, and she's like, "Oh my god,
You're still alive.
come here!" And he's like, "Nah, bitch." Like,
You tried to have me killed.
I heard the tapes.
But so James Spader starts giving him this whole line about like, oh, would she tell you her name
Right,
was?
the
And he's like
first-
Helga Svelgen or whatever it was.
Helga, it's like,
Svelgen.
did she know what you were doing there?
Right.
Outside of the whatever.
Did she approach you on behalf of the North Koreans?
Right.
And
he's
the
like,
dude's like,
what the
"What?"
fuck are you talking about?
You better tell us she's your contact. You got 10 seconds, and he holds a gun to his head.
Right.
Okay.
9,
She's my contact.
8, yeah, like 2 seconds left, and he was like, "Yeah, oh shit." And Dosmo's like, "What? I thought this was like a gambling."
Yeah. So Dosmo, we forgot to say in the beginning, he's been out of the game a while.
Right. He's like,
And they have
happy
a
to
whole
have the work.
conversation where he's happy to have the work, but he thinks they're collecting on a gambling debt.
Right, because that's what he's used to.
But so when he rattles all that off, he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, hold on a second. As he's asking these questions,
You hear a shot, but then it cuts to this rich man getting a flat tire.
he puts that gun up to his temple and shoots him, like you know he does.
Yeah,
like,
but right. They do a lot of like how they
cut
do with
to,
the
cut
pasta,
to,
some
cut to.
cuts. Yeah.
Right. So cut to a flat tire, and this asshole, he even looks like an asshole.
I didn't even write down his name. I just wrote like Art Douche for the first half
Alan.
until they finally said Alan. And
Alan.
I was like, Alan.
Alan.
Oh, okay.
Alan.
Art Douche. Yeah.
Right. He looks like he was born to make that who farted face, like Jared Kushner. Like he's just born
just
to
got
have
that.
like that contemptuous face.
Ew.
Like, oh, I'm rich and you're disgusting.
And he's like, for whatever reason, the only guy in the movie with a British accent.
Yeah.
Even though his half sister's not British. I guess they didn't grow up
why.
together.
I don't know why.
So he's got this flat. He's yelling at his assistant Susan on the phone and
Right.
rattling off all these errands for
He's
her to do.
supposed to go do a art deal.
He's gonna lose his commission over this.
Right, like over whatever. Yeah, like what was it? Like $30,000 or
It was I feel
was
like he
a
said
lot
like
of money,
$3
maybe-
million or something. He said
300,000. It was a
amount
lot
of money.
of fucking money. It was stupid fucking money. And
And he
he's like,
pulls over, and when he gets out of
he
his car, he's
drives
like,
a long fucking time
With-
on a flat tire,
Yes, he
a
does.
blowout.
yeah.
You can't do that shit. You can't do that shit. That's happened to me exactly one time, and I couldn't even like barely park in a space going into the parking lot. All I had to do was turn around.
We had a blowout on the freeway when I was
Ooh,
a kid, and we
fuck.
spun around
Ooh.
4 lanes of oncoming traffic and hit the retaining wall on the other side.
Yikes.
In a 1980 classic Corvette
Oh,
because
shit.
the fucking safety shit wasn't the same. So now you get
Right.
a blowout and you probably
Of
can
course.
just pull over. But this was like it just immediately sent this car into a tailspin.
Yeah, no, this was my car now, and I ran over like a big piece of metal that I didn't see in the
Yeah.
driveway of my job, and it like pop, like it just
Damn.
it punctured and blew out the whole thing. But I couldn't even barely get around to get in the space to get out of the driveway.
So yeah, he pulls over. He gets out of his car and he's like in pain for you
Yeah,
don't know
he,
why.
like,
He's like
doubles
clutching
over
his
in
side
pain.
back kind of area.
Right, he wanders out into the street.
He's almost hit by a bunch of cars.
right, because no one's stopping for you in the valet.
But then there's this fine ass man in front of the gay bar.
My goodness, a buckskin
Trying to hotwire a car, and he sees this poor white man over there, and he's
like,
just like,
right. He's all help me.
and so he
help me."
hotwires the car, and then he just walks out, stops all the traffic,
Oh, and
fine
just
as hell.
plucks him up and throws him over his broad ass shoulder.
just-
I'm gonna watch Spawn when I get home.
Right, and then just throws him like a sack of potatoes into the back of this fucking convertible and takes
And
off.
takes him to the hospital. presumably.
Apparently,
well,
yeah,
he does. Yeah. But
And
yeah,
then
the
you don't
ride
see him
me,
again. Yeah, ride me
Ride
is
me.
the
Somebody
license
stole
plate.
my car. Were those people not hanging out front? He
Yeah,
didn't
they saw
hear
him.
the car start or see this guy in his car.
And he picks up the guy's wallet, which comes up later just because he says he doesn't have his wallet, but it doesn't come up in any other way than he lost his wallet.
Well, he kind of says when he gets there, he was like, "Oh, that F-slur that put down his credit card. I bet you he didn't put down his credit card. He put down Alan's credit card, his
Probably.
own."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I want to send him a whatever for saving me."
Yeah.
So I bet you that wasn't even his credit card.
So cut to Teddy, who's arriving at like a park at night to walk his dog.
And this guy,
And I know him from other stuff, and I
He's
cannot
been in a
think of
ton of
what.
things.
Big character actor.
Yes.
Yeah,
Did
he's
he
like
not do that Spencer Gray or whatever the fuck was that? Or, no, maybe that's somebody else. That was, I think, the guy who actually did the thing. But
What
yeah,
was his
anyway.
name? I don't even know if
I wrote it, I
Austin
think.
Pendleton.
Austin,
Yeah, Austin Pendleton.
What do I know him from?
He was in Short Circuit,
Short
Oh.
Circuit?
the Muppet movie. He
Oh.
was the sidekick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Muppet movie.
Hopper, the guy with the hat.
Uh-huh.
My cousin Vinny.
Okay. Just all kinds of stuff. I'm sure I've seen his face 100 times.
But yeah, this dude is like,
He's been in 150.
he says all of the very
you were,
worst things
like,
you could say to a
suicidal-
suicidal man.
right?
Oh,
He's
how you
just
doing after your flop?
all your bombs, your
All
flops,
your bombs,
your
your flaps are
whatever.
terrible. How's your wife?
I
Oh,
know,
she's gone?
Yeah.
Oh,
you're
your dog's
divorced?
still
Yeah,
alive?
no,
Oh, no, this is it. That dog
that
died.
got hit by a car.
This fucking dude. And
I
then every
know.
time he's like, just kidding.
Right.
Just kidding.
He's Schrodinger's asshole.
This fucking asshole. I swear to God.
I know. Like,
If your
well,
movies
I'll
don't
see.
stop sucking, I'll see you on the unemployment
Right.
line.
Hey,
Like,
ha.
oh.
He's like fumbling with this leash. Like he's all bizarre.
He was bizarre.
He's a weird looking person.
I don't know.
The what?
What were you said?
I thought he was in what am I thinking of? That Spencer, isn't it Spencer Gray? The guy who does that, he just looks at the camera and sits and talks, and they did a documentary now.
Oh,
Spalding
Spalding.
Gray.
okay.
But that was Spalding Gray who did that. But he looks like that guy, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I think I'm thinking.
I do like that documentary now.
Yeah,
I
that's
do
a good
like
one.
it.
So now it's a city montage. The LA
Right.
freeways.
Here it is. A Studio City, Laurel Canyon. Eric Stoltz is getting a massage.
Yes, so he's making conversation with his masseuse, and his
Mm-hmm.
badge slips out of his pants on the chair.
Shit.
And he
'Cause
like
you're
sneaks it back in.
I gotta put in the thing. And she looks like a child.
She looks pretty young.
She looks like a teenager. I mean, she very well might not be. I'm sure she isn't, like in the grand
Right.
scheme of things, but she looks very young. I'm sure that's part of the allure.
So he flips over for the front massage.
Oh, yes.
And she's like reaching
She's
up
rubbing
that
his
towel.
legs or whatever. Oh, look at you. You're so big.
Yeah, she gives him a boner, and then she's like, okay, all done.
Right. And he was like, oh, well, that's it. She
That's
goes,
it?
well, what you want I do?
You want something else?
Right.
Like what?
Someone's
what you
yelling. Mrs. O'Toole is back there yelling.
Want? What you
in-
want I do? And he's like, it's fine. I'm
Nothing.
good.
Yeah, I'm just going to go. I got someplace to be.
So Jeff Daniels out there waiting in the car, looking worse for wear.
Oh, my God, because he's a grizzled racist and he's getting divorced, and that's why.
And Wes comes across the street where he's waiting at the 7-Eleven. Is like, oh, she didn't do anything.
Yeah,
Maybe
he's like,
she
well, what
made
happened?
me."
He's like, what are you talking about? You're telling me that this place is legit? Like, there's no fucking way.
So he uses some racial slurs.
Of
and-
course. And he's like, why do you hate Asians? Like, I don't. I hate whores.
Like, but then why so many racial slurs?
Right?
With your...
I know. He's like, because this one's in the valley.
Yeah,
I
because you
live
never cared
here.
about. There's tons of massage parlors in LA. You never
Right,
gave a
like,
shit before.
we don't ever bust those. He's like, no, you keep that shit downtown or in Culver City or Santa Monica.
This is my neighborhood.
Right, I own a house here. He's like all angry and red-eyed.
Yeah,
His eyes
He's
are all
probably
red.
an alcoholic or something.
Well, probably.
You don't see
his whole
that,
life
though.
is falling apart. It's his fucking fault. It's
So
his
now-
fucking fault.
So now Dosmo's talking to Lee in the car, asking him questions, and he's
Right,
like,
he's
you
like, what the
know,
fuck?
Curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? How did you find me anyway? Looked you up in the phone book under
Wash
washout.
out.
So Dosmo's like, look,
Oh.
I'm grateful for the chance, but you know more about me. And
When
Lee
he
says,
looks over and smiles at him all creepy, that close up, my
he
God.
has the most sinister fucking smile and laugh in this.
That's what happened to Blaine, or not Blaine, Steph.
Steph.
He's not Lee, he's
If
Steph.
he had lived through this movie, I would have said this is pre-secretary.
Oh.
That's like he tried to go straight. He made some good money. He owned
Oh.
a business, and he was trying to resist his BDSM.
No,
and
he
then
cannot.
And
So
he
he
can't do it.
decided to do. He got willing participants.
If Teddy didn't exist in this movie, he would have lived to be
Right.
the character in Secretary.
Right.
But yeah, it could
Or
be
maybe
Steph
he
to
did.
this to.
Somehow,
that.
some way.
So yeah, they Lee's like being super sinister, giving
Right.
him that sadistic smile, and they pull up to like. It looked like they were next to an empty pool. It was a weird
Right. It
little
was like it's up
spot
in the hills
hills
somewhere. I don't know what's going on there, but he ends up shooting him.
Yeah, this is where you get out. He shoots him. He wipes the gun off. He wipes the
the
prints
car
off the
down.
door. He walks back to another car that just pulled up. Hello, Miss
Oh, shit,
Adorable
boo.
Charlize Theron.
It's Helga. She not dead.
Oh yeah, and he threw some cocaine around
Right.
outside of the car.
And then he starts the stopwatch.
Oh, yeah,
and
there's a
throws
bomb
it
in
up
the
over
trunk
Yes,
also.
He checks on the bomb in the trunk. And then he throws the stopwatch because you assume it's 60 seconds until this bomb goes off. And he starts interrogating her
about Roy.
Right, like, did you like him? Did you? Because she was like, I didn't know you were
What'd
going to
you
kill
do with him. Yeah. Well, no, I mean that was the whole thing.
I thought that was
to
just
kill
like-
him.
Well,
So
I
why
thought
would
that.
she
Why
not-
did she ask him like? Why did you? Or no, it was why'd you have to fuck with him before you killed him?
That's what it was, and he's just because he's a fucking psycho,
Right, because that's
there's no
just what
reason.
he do. But he's like, so like, did you sleep with him? did he like? She's like, we just made out, we kissed and necked.
Yeah,
And that was it. Yeah.
Oh my God, what
It's like, if I
21-year-old
found
or
out
whatever
that you
says
were
necked?
lying, I'd go crazy.
And then he just fucking grabs her by the throat
Oh,
and kisses her,
fuck.
and you're like, you know
And
what?
there's like 30 seconds left.
And you're like, you know what? No, but yeah.
Yeah, no, but
Tell me I'm a good girl.
I'm just gonna watch the movie and pretend. I don't want that to actually happen.
No,
to be, like, fucking blowing up. The
if that
car.
really happened, I would be not hot
well,
for
if
it.
James
But to watch
Spader
it happen
now
to someone else,
picked me up, if I had to go pick up James Spader now,
Oh, yeah.
after he killed Danny Aiello, who's dead,
yeah, I would be not. I wouldn't be thrilled.
be like, no.
So yeah, he backs away as the bomb goes off, and just the way he fucking even
I know.
reverses that car,
I
you're like,
know.
you sexy motherfucker.
I know, it's stupid.
God
It's
damn
so
it.
stupid.
God
this
damn
one
Bad
put
Boys.
it over the fucking top for James Spader forever for
Oh
me.
yeah.
It like was always kind of like he's a bad guy, but he's not necessarily like
He was just, like, kind of an
salivatingly
asshole
hot. Right?
before.
he
I'm
was
like,
kind
no,
of, but
now he's- yeah.
now that he's psychotic.
Sinister and sexy.
Yes, please. Now that he's killing people,
Oh,
sure,
give it to
I
me.
want it. I want it.
But he didn't kill Danny Aiello
No,
because he was wearing a
rolls
bulletproof
down a
vest.
fucking hill,
Yeah. He got out while he was busy choking out Charlize Theron
right?
and escaped out the car and rolled
Because
down
he was
a hill.
too busy interrogating her about what she fucking did to see that his plan did not work.
And when Dosmo goes to get up, his
His
toupee
hair
gets
keys.
stuck on a plant and just bloop. And you
I know.
see his
He
fence
looks
of
like
hair.
he's giving birth to himself. It's like
He's
the
crowning!
He's crowning. He's coming
He's at
out.
10 centimeters.
He's at the push, Danny Aiello, push.
So cut to the car with the art dealer license plate. So this is Alan
Oh my God, they're coming up.
pulling into this sex mansion, or
I
I don't know
There's
what
like-
is
it's
happening.
Like, it's gross. It's not even like
The weird two people fucking inside a clam.
right.
What is
All you see is like
feet
Muppet feet.
hanging out of a
They're
thing?
not
And it's like
even
moving.
They're not even Pirates of the Caribbean quality feet hanging out.
And then
of
one
this
of the
thing.
other ones looks like Aunt Meg made it on a horny day. It's like a metal
It's like
fucking
this
moving
spanking, and
sculpture.
it makes all of them make noise.
Yeah.
They're all coming everywhere.
Could you imagine living in
No,
that sound?
constant.
So weird.
He loves it though.
So you see Susan's bringing in the dude Alan,
Right.
And outside, Mark didn't come in. Mark the dog, who's really named Mark
He's
the
all
dog.
go let the dog and go let my only joy of
yeah,
my
his
life.
only joy is this big ass dog.
And she's like, yes, did you flavor his food with bacon?
Oh God.
Yes, of course I did that, good girl.
Good.
Me,
But I don't
or
want to
the
hear him
dog?
say "good girl." I want to hear James Spader say.
I
"good
mean,
girl."
girl, I'd wear a dog collar too.
Queen Colleen.
Hey,
She's a collie. So they see the car. They see the smoke from the car explosion,
Right.
and then
He's
they
all
go out, and Dosmo's by the pool holding his gun to this big ass
the
dog.
The dog's got it.
The
Well, he
dog.
has her go let it, and he's like, what the fuck are you doing out there? Like, whatever. And then by the time he comes out, they all see that.
Yes.
she's
Oh yeah.
held
Because
still.
before that,
Dosmo's
he's
out there.
talking about the guy who saved him, and that
Oh,
like
right.
he's gonna give him a Chagall print, and she's like, "I've
Right.
worked for you for fucking
I know you
ever.
never
You don't
sent
give me a Chagall print." And
lithograph.
he's like, "You know what I could give you?
Something better.
Plastic surgery."
You don't have to be so homely all the time.
Oh, I would have fucking
I would have
stuck
fucking
a
scissor
shoe up
kicked
his
him
ass.
right in the fucking kidney.
Fuck you. I bet she
I
pays.
will beat your ass.
I know she does. She was not as much of a pushover as Tess, but kind of.
Yeah, is that her deal? She gone too now, isn't she? I feel like she
Oh, is
passed
she?
away.
Oh,
I feel like she
bummer.
passed away too. But yeah, he must pay her like really well.
Yeah.
He better fucking pay her really
For
well.
her to like change her last name and everything.
right? I mean, he didn't even know about that shit.
And then he starts calling around to his relatives because he had kidney. That's what it was, kidney stones.
Right. He calls his sister.
I
I
need
have
a
a
nurse.
nurse. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'd kick him right in your fucking fucked up kidney.
Yes.
I seen them stones. I'll kick the stones
Kidney
right out
punch.
of you. Kidney punch. I'll kick them stones right out your dick hole.
So then he notices that Susan is not coming back with his dog. And so he stumbles out there, and that's when he sees Danny Aiello out there sitting on his giant sunglasses. Which, like,
did you see the doors were like kissing people?
No.
The doors had like two, and like when you close it, they kiss, and when you open it, they like.
And so
come
why
apart.
was everything else sex stuff, but then a giant pair of sunglasses?
I don't know.
What did that have to do with anything?
I don't know. The stuff inside, he also had a feathered person in a parachute. Did you see that shit?
No.
Somewhere in the house is part of the art. There, it looked like Adina Monsoon's parlor when her dad died.
Oh
it was
my
like
God.
a person-sized mannequin that was covered
He
in white
would have
feathers.
been best friends with Adina and
For sure.
Pat's.
Maybe that's why he had a British accent.
Maybe
maybe.
he moved over. Yeah, he was
Maybe.
a nod to it or something. It was
Could
around.
be.
Also, the actor's British, so.
The actor's British. He just couldn't do an American accent.
Right.
He's
They
like,
were
look,
like,
you
you
want
know
me
what?
or you don't want me? I don't
You're a
know.
way bigger asshole with the accent. We're gonna keep it.
But Dosmo wants him to call off his dog.
Call off your dog. He's not vicious. He just wants you to throw the gun.
Yeah.
He wants you to fetch.
And Susan works out like, hey, were you in that car that blew up?
Yeah. And the guy that was up there is gonna come looking for me.
Yeah. And he's like, I don't think he asked him here where he asked, why did he want to kill you? And he's
No,
like,
not
I don't
that.
know.
But he's all prick, fuck, prick.
Yes. And Susan thinks he looks familiar.
Right.
But we don't find out why yet. And he's like, look, I'm not a thief, but I need money.
Right,
And she tries to give him money. He's like,
He's
no,
like,
no.
not from you. Not from you.
I want it from that prick.
I want prick, fuck.
But that's when you find out he lost his wallet, which we knew already. And so
Right,
all
right.
he's got is $40.
And he also is out of smokes, and nobody smokes.
And he bends down to get that $40 and his hair falls off
Oh
again.
no.
And he puts it back on and she's like,
It's crooked. And
Just-
this is like right off the bat, she tells him that her name was Paluzzo
yeah.
and that she had it changed from Parrish. Oh, because no, that's not
Or
what
the
he
other
asked her if
direction.
her family is connected. That's later.
Oh, I think that's later. So
But yeah, and he's like, Ellen's like, what the fuck are you
yeah, because
bonding with this guy all of a sudden?
so he takes the keys and he's gonna leave, but as soon as he opens the door, he hears sirens closing in. So he's
Wouldn't
like,
they just be coming for the
for the fire.
Yeah,
they don't
that
know
has
anybody
nothing to
was in
do
it or
with
lived
you.
through it or whatever.
Yeah. He could have just left.
coulda
I
just
feel like.
left.
In his car. No one's looking at the fucking
Yeah.
whatever. Movie over.
So-
Movie over.
So he comes back in and shuts the door, tells them leave the dog out, and then he's like, "You got any food?
I'm starving.
I'll cook.
Right? She was like, "You want us to cook for you?" He's like, "No,
No.
I'll cook."
I'll do the cooking."
So now,
Before we get,
before we get there, yeah, we're
Because
gonna
we're
have to
gonna
have a cigarette
spend a
before and
minute.
after.
we're gonna spend a minute on this next scene. We're gonna take a quick break.
We're gonna be taking it slow.
Towels down. You ready?
Towels down. It's a good thing the AC is on because it's about to get hot.
We are back, and Lee is lying on this motel bed with his timer, talking about the length of a minute.
Right? Nobody ever appreciates a minute until that's all they have.
Yeah, and here comes Charlize in this white
Lingerie.
fucking baby doll, or not a baby doll. It was just
It's like a full body
bodysuit,
sock
see-through body
with
sock.
underwire.
And he's like, "Oh, I just want to look at you. God broke the mold on you,
Oh,
baby." I mean, he
shit.
appreciates it,
Hey.
even though he don't treat her right.
How could you not appreciate that?
I mean, look at her.
Body, yaddy, yaddy.
She
Hot
sits
as
on
fuck.
this chair in front of the bed and puts
Oh.
her feet up, legs spread on the edge of this bed. And he comes up like, "Hello,
Baby.
Gets down between them legs, starts kissing up her knees, licking up her thigh. And then this is the apparently improv part where he's like, "God, you're beautiful," and he just stands
Gets
up
up,
and walks away,
Gets
puts some
up
ice
and
down
off he
his
goes.
pants.
Yep, he goes to the little ice bucket and straight down his pants.
Ooh, because I
'Cause
think he really had a boner.
It would not surprise me. How could you not?
How could you not?
Oh my God.
So she's like, they were talking about that story for Roy, like, oh, this is where he says you just did it to torture him or
Right.
whatever.
Like, why do you got to do stuff like that, you know?
And then
And now it's showgirls time because he takes that ice bucket and puts ice in his mouth.
he throws her down on the bed
Oh my God.
and starts choking her like,
She's like, don't put your hands around my neck.
"It makes me not trust you." He's like, "You could trust me." And he's got that ice in his mouth. He fucking
Starts
rips
ripping-
her lingerie
Oh my God.
open.
She must go through lingerie
Right?
like mad.
It's like made of tissue paper.
I know. She's got to get a new one every time. A new body sock every time. She got to go to Fredericks of Hollywood. every time.
Yep.
From the valley.
From
In the valley.
And he got that ice in his mouth, getting her nipples hard.
Getting up on them nipples.
Ooh. And we get full titties from
full
Charlize
titties,
here.
because there it is, and then it's
She rips open
hop
his
on
shirt.
top.
She's
and, yeah,
licking
she's
his
ripping up
nipples.
clothes. Everybody's got their nipples out. It's wild.
And we got, they go
Woo.
for a rumble that I'm just like,
Okay.
can I get in the middle
Right,
of-
can I'll sit in the
just
cuck
in the
chair.
middle of that? I'll sit in the cuck chair. Can I just watch over here?
I'll sit in that weird chair they have in a hotel room.
It's
right
always
next to
for
the
watching the bed that's positioned
That's
to
what
watch
it's
the
for.
bed.
That's what it's for.
Oh, and in the midst of all this kissing and titty grabbing, we cut to
Macaronis in a pot.
stirring macaroni.
I was all, Cardi B? Meg?
Oh.
Is that you? Wop, wop, wop.
Dosmo's cooking his pasta and holding them by gunpoint at the same
Right.
time. One hand cooking
He's
pasta.
cooking and holding them at gunpoint at the same time. And he's like, Alan's over there asking too many questions, but Susan knows what's up. Like, you're smart.
Because she knows, like, you don't even know who tried to kill or why he tried to kill you, huh?
Yeah, because that's what Alan asked him. Like, well, why did they try to kill you? And she's like, he doesn't know.
Yeah.
And he's like, is any of your family connected? She's like, I grew up in Reseda. Like Ray Pruitt.
Reseda.
2 90210 references.
Does she know little Daniel, what's his name? Wasn't he from Reseda, Karate Kid? Or not from Reseda.
yes.
They moved to Reseda.
They moved to Reseda, yeah. Russo. Little Daniel Russo.
Daniel Russo.
Daniel's
Daniel's
son,
son,
yeah.
That one.
He moved to Reseda.
And so Dosmo makes the art douche sit on the floor because
Yeah,
he's
I
being a
know.
rude little
You
shit.
sit on the fucking floor.
He
'cause
heard
you're
his
rude.
plastic surgery comments
Yeah.
to Susan when he was sitting outside.
And he was like, because she goes to pull out a chair, and he's like, don't do that
Don't do
shit.
that. Yeah.
And he was like, she's just, oh, you don't think I need a nose job? Fuck no, you don't need no fucking nose job.
And then the Alan's like, oh, good, because she already had one.
he
And he just
slaps
slaps the
him.
shit out of him.
He's so rude, this little fucker.
And the dog's out there
Yeah.
growling at the door. And he's like, look, Susan, no, you don't apologize for
Right.
him. You don't apologize
Anybody,
for
not
anybody.
for yourself, not nobody.
So now, this very nice house, we're back finally to Teri Hatcher, who has just woken up from her
Right.
drug-induced stupor.
And there is blood
Everywhere.
everywhere. Blood and brains. And Roy is dead on top of her.
So she panics, of
Oh,
course.
of course. And she runs out, and she runs right into, well,
First, the cops are in there talking
Right.
about trying to bust these massage
right.
parlors.
And he's like,
I don't even want
I
to
don't
do
want to
this.
do this shit. And he's like, no, you got to, what did you think Vice was going to be? Because he's like, I wanted to be in homicide,
Yeah.
but I can't quite get into homicide. I've gone all over the place. He's like, you know what? You're a bleeding heart liberal.
I'm not going to send you in there. You're going to fuck
Right.
up my
You're gonna
bus. And he's
fuck
like,
up
yeah,
this
you're
bus."
right.
He's like, you know what? I'm not going in there.
I don't want to go.
I'm not doing it. So then
Becky comes running up, covered in blood, in her panties. Can
Crying
you help
for help.
me call the cops? And they're like,
we are the police. We are the pigs, ma'am.
So now Teddy takes his little dog Bogey and they visit the cemetery.
Right.
And he brought that gun again. And
I know.
This was his
You're
mom's
gonna
grave he
yeah,
went to
it's
visit?
his mom.
And she was a captain, it says?
She was a wag.
I swear that gravestone said captain, though, also.
She might have been.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't say.
And he pulls out that gun and the dog starts barking
He's
again.
loading the gun because little Bogey
He's going to do it in the cemetery in front of this
Right?
dog.
on his mother's grave. His mother wouldn't want that for
He's
him.
like, someone will find you and give you a nice house.
I know. He's just gonna let little Bogey wander around the cemetery till somebody finds him. That's
Well-
awful. You're gonna make little Bogey watch you blow your fucking brains out.
Well, he
I mean,
won't
that tiny
starve.
gun. I don't know. what
He's going to leave him food. Brains.
Well, a little snack.
So then he sees Audrey bringing flowers in her
Right.
nurse uniform
In her
to another
fucking
grave.
awooga ass car. What is that?
I don't know.
When she started, it was like.
It was old school. Mm-hmm. And he goes up to her like, "Hey, you want a dog? I
Right.
gotta leave the country. And
I gotta
she's
move
like,
around. She's like, what?
She's
are you
like trying to
talking about?
leave. Like,
Yeah,
no,
like
thank
I
you.
don't know who you are.
Bye. And she's like, he tells her he's a writer director, and she's like, "Oh, do you make war movies?"
Yeah, he's like, well, no. She's
No,
like,
I-
oh, well, I
what
like.
did
war
you make?
movies. Lights Out.
Oh,
You did that?
I love that.
Right. He's all really.
Which is the shitty movie the other guy was
Right,
making fun
he
of
was
him
talking
about.
about the elephant and whatever, and she liked the elephant part.
It was a surprise.
It was.
She was into it.
Right. So she ends up saying, yeah, I'll take him after all. And
She
Bogey's
goes
in
to
there
pull away and then
crying.
stops and calls him up there like,
Poor little Bogey.
yeah.
Poor little Bogey.
He doesn't want to go with her. And then
I
so she
know.
goes up a little ways and then stops and is like, get over here. Like, come with me to meet who I'm going to give the dog to.
Right. It's my brother. He's got a puppy that swims.
A puppy? That thing is man
That is not a
size.
puppy. I mean, no, it's not a puppy. That's not a puppy dog.
So now Dosmo's eating, but Susan hasn't eaten because she won't eat unless her boss eats, and he won't eat because he's on the floor. And he's
Right.
like, "Oh my god, fine,
Whatever.
get up on the
He's
get
like-
to the table."
Yeah. So by this time, that's when Audrey arrives.
And it's
he's like,
another
"Oh, fuck."
fucking dog.
Well, first he's like, well, he'll fucking get rid of her. And he's like, it's my sister. She's not going to leave. She's
yeah.
coming here to check on me. And he's trying to open the door. And like for Mark
Yeah.
to come in. He's like, hey, you fucking
yeah.
stop it. And that's when Susan goes to see, she's got a man with him. He's got a dog. Another fucking dog.
So back to the cops. They tell Becky, wait here, let us go check the house. Which
She's
you
like-
weren't homicide cops.
They didn't call in shit.
I know.
It didn't seem like
It
they
didn't
did.
seem
Maybe
like
they
they
did
did.
and we didn't see it. But they're just going to let her stand out there.
in her panties with a coat
like not
covering
even
her.
let her sit in the fucking car.
Right, at least let her sit in the car. And then it's when she notices her butt hurts and that she's
she was
got
like,
this
oh,
bruise.
what the fuck is this? Whatever.
So they're like, oh, it looks like you got stuck with a needle. Like, just hang on. We'll take you back to the station. We'll have a doctor look at you.
Right. First, we're gonna take a look inside.
So they go find the body, and
Mm-hmm.
Alvin's like, do not fucking touch anything.
No wonder he's not making it in fucking homicide.
I
No
know.
wonder.
He starts moving evidence and shit.
He
so
picks up the fucking pack
Yeah.
of cigarettes.
I mean, he
and
picked it up
moves
with something, but
Sure,
still.
but he took it downstairs. He's like, where'd you get that shit?
You idiot.
Right.
Take it back.
What the fuck? And all this is in front of Becky.
Right.
I mean, it's a good thing, I guess, whatever, that she's traumatized by all this, because I would be asking some serious fucking questions. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I'm Jessica Fletcher.
Right.
Are you moving evidence about the house?
And Wes is trying to ask her, like, do you smoke? Does anyone in your house smoke?
She's
and
like,
she's
no, I
like,
don't allow it in my house.
no, it must belong to them. And he
was like,
latches
oh.
on to the them.
Them.
But, like, if she didn't know who did it,
Well,
you
that's
would say
what
them.
fucking Jeff Daniels said. Is
Yeah,
he's like, you
it's
say
a figure
they
of
robbed
speech.
me.
Yeah.
They did this to me. Not if you don't know who it is.
It would be more suspicious if she said he.
right.
Because, like, how you know it was a he?
I know.
Them is general.
Yeah, just whomever. I don't know who it was, so it was them.
So he tells him your wannabe detective brains working overtime.
Seriously, and he's fucking it up.
So now Susan's trying to stop Audrey from going up to Alan's room
Right,
because
she's-
he's up there with Danny Aiello, who, for whatever reason, needs to clean up and get a clean suit, even though he's still going to come down and hold them hostage with the gun. So it's like, what were you even cleaning up
He
for?
just
if you're
needed to change because he felt a little funky.
I guess. And so he's like breaking closet doors and shit,
Well, 'cause
slamming
he's
this
like,
dude
Alan's
around.
like, look at me, look at you.
Yeah, you're not going to fit.
How are you gonna fit?
Be in those clothes.
I guess. But why would anyone be looking for him?
Right.
I mean, I guess James Spader might be, but he's going to recognize him no
true.
matter what suit jacket
I
he
know.
has on.
Like, I don't get what he's still doing there.
No, the cops didn't show up, so you can leave now.
Yeah, you can go. It was probably a fire truck going up the hill.
And like, so what if these people call the cops? Well, they'll call in their car stolen, but you just need to get far enough away to get rid of that car and
Right.
get somewhere else.
Just
They
get
don't know
down
who
the
you
hill
are.
and ditch the car.
Anyway.
Anyhow, he needs Buck.
So yeah, he comes down. They're like, oh, by the way, he's holding us all hostage.
Right.
And this fucking dog statue in the bathroom with
Oh my God.
Alan's
He's like, what the
face.
fuck is that?
I would have
Why
scared
is
the
it?
shit out of
oh,
me too.
I know. It gives me the thing. When the thing
Yes,
dog
like
or
halfway
whatever.
transformed.
Yes. Where it's like Wilford Brimley dog.
Maybe Alan has like some intestinal issues, but if he sees that dog, it scares the shit out of him every morning. That's how he gets his system
Why
going.
is it by his bathtub? Does he like gaze lovingly into his like dingo
That's
face?
If him and Mark had a baby.
Oh,
Is
it
that
would
his
be their
dream?
dog baby.
Is that why he has no significant other? It's Mark.
Yeah. Well, probably also because he's an asshole. Who'd have him?
Yeah, true.
Who would have him?
So yeah, they Alan talks about, oh, I was brought up in a trailer park. I might
Right.
be an asshole, but I worked hard to become one.
You accomplished
like
your
they
goal.
got trailer parks in England?
I know. What trailer park did you
Is that
grow
a
up in
thing?
England? They do, right? They call them caravans.
I was gonna
though,
say I don't
they?
think they call it a trailer park, but I'm sure they have something
He's
like
probably
that.
fucking lying.
Probably. So now back at the police department, Miss Fox is being interviewed by some much nicer detectives.
Right. Keith Carradine and the other guy.
And he knows who she is, that she's an Olympic
right.
skier.
He's like all up in her butt about this, whatever. Like even the other detective is like, whoa.
Are you
cool
hitting
it.
on her? Because he's like, you
Right.
can take my card. This is my personal number. You call me
Right.
anytime.
A day or night if you're worried about anything or just to talk.
But her friend is there to pick her up. And
Right,
lo
she's
and
like, no.
behold,
Oh,
who's
shit.
her friend?
What a twist. It's
Charlize
Helga.
Theron is there to pick her up. And she's like, why would you kill Roy in my house while I'm sleeping 3
I
inches
know.
away from
Like,
him?
why the fuck? And she's like, well, obviously because you couldn't know
Yeah.
when we were going to do it. And you couldn't explain any of this shit.
Lee
so
didn't want you to know, so you can't be connected.
he's protecting you.
Now, where's our money?
It's in the fucking house in my safe. You
Why would it
stupid
be in the
asshole.
house? Because I didn't know you were gonna fucking
I
do this
know.
murder in my house.
This makes a problem,
like
dummies.
you think I just? Where else am I gonna keep 30
right,
grand?
$30,000 is clearly going to be in my safe in my house.
Like, what do they think? She buried it in another location?
I
Like, where would
know.
it be?
Obviously, if they had the cash on hand,
And
it
she
would be in
can't
the fucking house.
Withdrawing $30K in cash the day after her husband got murdered. If it was in the
Seriously.
bank.
Really though.
Come now, Lee.
Shit.
So back at Alan's place, Teddy is asking Susan about who she knew, or not Susan, Audrey. Who
Yes,
did you
yes.
know that was buried at that cemetery?
Right. And she's like, I don't want to talk about it.
And we never do get
No,
into that.
we never
That's
do.
it. She don't want to talk about it. They
No.
don't talk about it.
I wonder almost
If there was another,
if it was like the dad and like that's how come her half brother is English, because while he was out doing war things, he made
got-
another family or something.
maybe.
But she said a friend. I don't know. It
Yeah,
could
and you
be-
never
it could
do
be
find
somebody
out
that
what-
she dated.
If anything that had to do with
Nope,
anything.
you never find that out. That's the one mystery that remains.
So now at the motel, Charlize and Lee and Becky are all there together, and Lee's loading up to go get the money from her house.
And
she's
Becky is asking a lot of fucking
Yeah.
questions for a bitch that paid $30,000 to have her husband murked.
well, and if he's her ex-husband, why does she want to kill him?
And like, how come? Because it was Helga that he was with in Lillehammer.
Yeah.
So what the fuck was
So
that?
that was
Did
a
she
setup.
set him up?
So she'd been setting him up for 2 years in order to take the life insurance money that he forgot to take. But she had 30 grand in
Right.
cash. So what do you need? You got money, clearly.
She's saved up since Lillehammer. She sold a gold medal.
Yeah, I don't
Or no,
really
she never
get the
meddled.
whole thing is she wanted him dead apparently, but like, where did she find Lee and Helga, or did they find her?
Right,
And
I don't
why
know
did
what-
she want? He hadn't been in her house.
No,
we don't
he
think,
hadn't lived there.
since that night that was their anniversary.
Right.
Very weird. And how could they even plan to kill him there if he don't live there?
Right.
And he just randomly
He
showed up
just
for their
randomly
anniversary.
showed up, and that was the time to go because they had
There's
her
some
house
things that don't
bugged.
check out. There's some things that don't check
Yeah,
out.
I'm not sure how that worked out, but I really, it seems like for somebody so meticulous
Yeah.
to not consider that the money would be in the house.
And she's like freaking out, and he does this, and again, so creepy.
I
but
know,
God
it's
damn
like
it.
really fucking
He
hot.
touches her face, Becky's face, and just like runs his hand down her lips, and you're
Because
like,
he's gonna go get the money, and the cops are there.
He's
She's
like,
like,
"Shh,
I know.
I'm gonna
Relax
handle it.
your body.
And she's like, but those detectives were nice. Shh, 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 baby girl.
It can't, bitch. Who cares?
Daddy got this.
Right?
Daddy got this.
Baby girl.
And so he's like, all right, you girls stay here. Basically, I'm gonna go get the
our
fucking
money.
money.
Right. He's like, because we want to leave town and we would like to take our money with
Yeah.
us.
So Susan now announces that Alan is coming, and Dosmo still comes down with the gun. So he's just now coming down.
Right. He's changed, it looks
Yeah,
like.
he changed his clothes, washed his face off, and he's like, Teddy doesn't want to sit down.
No,
'cause he's
Teddy might be a
suicidal,
hero.
so he's going to be the hero.
He's like, fuck it. I'm not doing shit.
And Susan has now realized this is what's happening. So she like drags him back to sit on the couch. Like, come on,
Right.
please.
Like, can we please? So now he's like at dark times, at moon
we all
times,
have to go.
We're
what
all
were you
going,
gonna do
why?
with these people? Oh, he said he was going to like leave him
In
I don't
Pasadena.
know. Yeah. And Teddy's taking notes, and he's like, put the fucking
What the
pen
fuck
down.
are
And
you
he just
doing?
keeps, put the fucking pen down. He's
Right.
like writing it down.
And he's like, don't make me fucking shoot you. And like, he's all, tell this motherfucker I'm not fucking around. Susan's like, he's not fucking around.
Right? And
Shut those fucking dogs up.
So cut to Lee driving down the street looking
Oh my God.
as fuck.
in that Buick. It's too much.
Oh, Alvin pulls up next to him at this stop, and he doesn't
They don't-
even look over.
Nope,
Lee
they
looks
don't-
at him.
Lee looks at him, but Alvin doesn't realize that that's what's going on. He's looking at a
Super
super
soaker.
soaker, right? Well, because earlier, which we forgot to mention, he was looking at a letter, but we didn't know what it
Right.
said.
Yes, he was looking at a
It
letter, and we don't
obviously
know what
pissed
it
him
says.
off, but what fucking doesn't?
So yeah, he pulls out in front of his house, gets out with the squirt gun, and he throws this golf ball. He finds a golf ball in his yard and throws it across the street.
Because he's literally right across the street from a golf course.
And right as he turns around to go back in, a golf ball shatters his front window of his house.
And he immediately
loses his goddamn
loses
mind.
his shit, but doesn't mess with any of the other guys except the black guy. You did notice that
they
the rest
ran.
of the they ran.
He was
but
the
he
only
even
one
said he
still
was like
close
he
to
was
the
that
fence.
guy.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure he singled him out to
Well,
begin
he is a
with.
racist.
I know, that's what I'm
So,
saying. To further
they do that.
illustrate, he went after the black guy.
But he does finally realize he's losing his mind and puts the gun down and just walks off.
Fine ass Cress Williams is like, what the fuck did I do?
Yeah, I don't know what I
I'm just
did.
trying to get to my date with Donna Martin.
So now back outside Lotus Touch Massage.
Right. Eric Stoltz just hanging out there.
And he sees that awkward dude from the park leaving all like...
Is that who
Yes,
that
that was who that was leaving the massage parlor. He
That's
just went and
funny.
got his
I don't
hand
think
job.
I ever noticed that
Yeah.
before.
And Alvin's, meanwhile, back at home, relaxing on his couch, shirtless, with his belt unbuckled.
I know. And that looks like probably pictures of his actual
Maybe.
children.
So, yeah,
because,
there's pictures of him and his kid.
I mean, it's 1996. They could Photoshop things, but those look like organic photographs that were possibly his.
And a drawing of my second daddy and my first daddy and me and mommy. And so this kid's pretty little, apparently,
Right,
still.
clearly.
And he's filling out this giant birthday card from your first dad.
daddy.
Oh, I had real dad and fake dad.
Oh,
Not
real
dad
dad and
one
fake
and
dad.
dad two. Yeah. And he wraps up the super soaker, which, hey, single dad wrapping a gift.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Good for
I mean,
you.
it was a shitty job, but it's also
But
a
at
super
least he
soaker. They're
tried, yeah.
awkward.
And this sad music playing. And he picks up that letter, and you see the letter.
And because of his
Abusive and erratic
yeah,
behavior.
he has 48 hours to turn in his badge. I'm surprised. What did he fucking do?
Do you think Wes ratted on him about his racism? He
I
was
mean,
like, look,
quite
he's
possibly.
trying to bust this whole massage parlor just because these
Or
ladies
just
are Asian.
with the other things that he's doing. Like, that's what I'm saying. What did he do that they're actually sending him a letter that within 48 hours you better turn in your shit, not just we're letting you go or administrative leave and then he gets to go work a county
Right.
over.
Cops in 94.
Right? The cops in 1996 in the Valley, I'm pretty sure we're going to cover for that. What did he fucking do? It had to have been bad. He shot
must
the
have
fucking
been.
Mrs. O'Toole right in the face in the fucking massage parlor.
So he's pissed, son of a bitch. So, and without pension, I think it said or something, didn't it? Or no?
Yeah, I feel like it was.
feel like
That's
it
what I'm
said
saying.
something,
It felt like it was real
was
bad.
bad.
That's what I want to know what he fucking did.
So now cut to Becky asking Helga if her and Lee are engaged.
She's like, "Yep,
Doesn't it bother you? Doesn't it bother him that you slept with Roy? And she's like, I
didn't sleep with Roy."
Oh, sure. Oh, it bothers you,
right?
though.
Like, oh, and she's like, "Oh, you liked him." Because she's like, "Oh, well, you were never there. It was always
oh,
about
yeah. So
your
then they
goals.
get in where she's standing up for Roy.
Which
Stick with the sisters.
I know. Roy seemed like a real asshole. I'm
He
just
sure
saying,
did.
I
He
only
sure
knew him
did.
for about 5 minutes, and every single one of those 5 minutes was a fucking trial. He seemed like a
She's
real
he made him
fucking
feel like
douche.
shit, and he deserved alimony. He deserved to feel like shit. He was a
Yeah,
fucking asshole.
he seemed like he was pretty shitty.
She's like,
I
he
don't
was
know,
a likable guy. When?
right? When he was like trying to sexually assault you, and then
No, Helga said he was a likable guy. Not, Teri Hatcher didn't have nothing nice
no,
to say
she
about
didn't have
him.
anything nice to say.
So then, she's
fuck.
like, he knew how to treat a woman, and Becky just punches her in the fucking
She hit her up with a
face.
2-piece, like bop,
Yeah,
bop.
she did. And they're fucking choking each other
Uh-huh.
and knocking over furniture. This was a hardcore fight.
Right, and I guess at one point, because from what I understand, where Charlize grew up, she knows how to fucking fight. From what I know,
Isn't she from like South Africa or
yeah,
something? Yeah.
and apparently where she grew up, like you better know how to fucking fight.
Well,
as
didn't
far
her
as I know.
mom kill her dad? 'Cause he
Yes,
was beating her
'cause he
ass.
was- yeah.
So she's like, she's seen some shit.
But during this scene, she accidentally really hit Teri Hatcher in the face.
And Teri Hatcher knocked the fuck out. She was
Well,
like,
yeah, who knows? I don't know what happened, but she bought her some cheap beer to apologize.
So one's winning, then the other one's winning, and then she's got her pinned
She
to
goes
the wall.
for the gun.
Yeah, they struggle over the gun, and a shot goes off. Becky runs out of the room, and then you
she
see
takes
Helga
off running. She stumbles out. She's bloody. And also, second white body sock. This one with a zipper.
This was like a light lavender.
Was it?
Very
It
light
just looked-
lavender.
It just looked white to
yes,
me.
it was
I thought
very
they just
light.
had her in white.
But I think it was a very
it was a very
slight
thin
bit of
material.
color. Yeah.
It was a very thin material. I saw that thong. I got all Cisco about it.
But hey, she could work it. She could work it. And now
It is
you
worth
hear a car crash as Teri
Right.
Hatcher runs around the corner,
I
and I
thought
don't
she got
think
hit
it
by a
ever
car.
addresses what the car screen. So I guess
No.
just she ran out
She
in
just
traffic
ran
but didn't
out,
get
I
hit. I
guess.
don't know. So now the detectives are in Becky's house looking at all her shit.
Mm-hmm.
And Detective Carradine, which is what I call him because I
Yeah,
can't remember
because
his name.
they don't have names. That's why I keep saying Eric Stoltz, Jeff
Yeah.
Daniels, because they all have names, but I can't remember them.
And he's looking at this cigarette pack like, this just makes no sense. This is a super
Right.
clean job.
Why would they leave this behind?
This seems intentional.
yeah.
And at this moment, Lee comes in the door. And the lady detective's like, you hear something?
Right, I'm
Or
gonna
he sends her to go check.
Right? She's like, no, I think she says like that she's gonna go check it out.
Oh, okay. And then
And she walks
gets shot
right into
point blank in the head.
Or he's in the closet, is he not? And he like pops out.
He pops her into the closet
Oh,
anyway.
that's
Right
right.
after
He
he
shoots
shoots
her
her,
right
he just
between the
throws her in the
fucking
closet.
eyes.
It just this one fluid
not even
fucking
a word,
motion.
right? And just as she falls into the closet, you go.
And Carradine comes down, and Lee makes a little
Yeah,
him to turn around
My God,
and
it's
shoots
so
his
hot.
ass too.
Like bop bop in the chest. He didn't just put one in his face.
I know. And then he goes straight to the safe,
right.
gets in the safe,
He's got
throws
the
all her
keys.
medals and shit on the
Right.
ground.
She's got little precious moments bullshit in there.
And she's got a box of cash, sure as
Right.
shit.
So sure enough, there's $30,000 in there. He takes it.
But he hears somebody coming in.
Right. And he's like, oh, what the fuck is this?
So he grabs a badge off one of these dead bodies and he goes down to meet Eric Stoltz. He puts that hip out,
Right. He's like, I got a badge.
stands
right
at the
here.
top of the stairs.
Right.
Can I help you?
He's already got gloves on.
Yeah, exactly.
Seen
He's
this?
crime scene ready.
Have you seen this?
And-
So he asked him like, oh, hey, how's it going? Well, we were here earlier. We were the ones that discovered
you're the one
this
who
place.
discovered
like,
the
oh,
scene. Okay.
did you was the pack of cigarettes your
Oh,
deal?
good
Because
work.
he says like,
Good
oh
work,
yeah,
yeah.
that was good work. And he's like, there's something that bothers me though. She said they.
Yeah.
I think she might be
I think she
in on
hired
it.
hitmen, maybe.
Oh, really?
And the way Lee backs him down these stairs
Right? Oh.
menacingly,
Oh.
like, oh, really?
Like, because he understood immediately as soon as he stepped on that stair, like, oh, let me back it up.
because you better,
Oh,
that icy stare.
oh my God.
And he's like, look, I got to ride down to the station for something. You
Right?
want
Would
to ride
you come
along?
with me? Like, whatever. We got to go look at some of the shit from this place. He's like, yeah.
And he's about to shoot him in the back of the head when here comes Helga,
Stumbling up the drive.
which, girl, you blow
Why
it.
would-
Why
right?
would you go to the crime scene looking for him, thinking there's detectives in there?
Becky ran off. He's
Yeah.
getting the money. Just
Yes,
wait.
just wait. This can't be helpful for you to be walking
No,
around while you're
it's
shot.
probably making it worse.
And so instead of shooting him, for some reason, he just knocks him out with the butt of the gun
Right,
because
he
he's like
sees Helga,
startled
I
in
guess.
this moment.
I don't know.
So back to Dosmo getting everybody out to the car, and Teddy don't want to go. He's like, "Go ahead and shoot me."
Right. And
I ain't going.
Audrey's like, I think he's suicidal.
And
I
he
don't
points
think.
the gun at Audrey, like, "Fine,
Right,
then."
I'll shoot her then. He's like, don't you fucking dare.
And he's like, "Look, I'll give you my word," and he trusts his word because a loser has more honor than
Over Alan's.
Yes, for
He was
sure.
like, I don't know. I like this guy better, even though he's holding a gun on all of us.
So he gives his word of honor, so Teddy agrees to go with them.
Right, right, right.
And I think that's when he says, "I'll leave you guys in Pasadena."
Right,
or
I'm
something.
gonna
I'm not
drop
going to
you
kill
off
anybody.
there. Right, and like when they go to leave, Alan's like, I can't go. I have to lay down.
I'm in pain.
I'm in pain. I can't sit. And he was like,
He just knocks him out cold. He's out of pain now.
he's not in pain anymore. And that's when Susan tells him the story about the lighting her dad's favorite chair on fire
Yes.
for missing her piano recital.
So now Helga is asking Lee if she is dying.
Right. She's like, take me to a hospital. He's like, oh, no, we
He's
can't
like,
do that.
Is Becky dead? And she's like, I don't know. I
She
shot at
ran
her.
out. Right.
So yeah, he's not taking her to the hospital. He's like, and now I'm pretty sure Charlize Theron was barefoot during that girl fight, which means that after she got shot, she stopped and put on strappy heels with a buckle.
I think for part of it, she
To
had
run
the
over there?
shoes on, but I feel like they were different shoes.
Something was different.
Something
Either she
was
was
different
barefoot
or
or she had
off.
different shoes. There was
I'm
something
sure
seemed
they
different.
probably did that Catwoman thing where it was like dominatrix boots, flat foot.
Right.
Dominatrix boots, flat foot.
So he's like, he has to make a decision, and he kisses her. He tells her he loves her, but there's no other way. I can't take you to a hospital. And he puts a gun to her
And you're
chest.
dying.
And
So-
she's not even trying to get out of it. She's just
No,
like, look, you give everybody else a minute.
Give me a minute.
Give
Give
me 1
everybody
minute.
else a minute or whatever. Well, she's buying a little bit of time.
Yeah, and so he starts his timer, and she's like, look, it's probably not as bad.
Right. It doesn't.
it
It's
looks.
not as bad as it looks. He's like, no.
No, you're definitely dying.
He's like, but really though, did you sleep with Roy?
I know. He's
Obsessed.
like, really? You're asking me that now? And he's like,
I
I'm
know.
sorry, but for the record, I think you did.
Yes!
And he tries to shoot her, but his gun is jammed.
It jams up, so he goes over there for Eric Stoltz's gun, and he turns around. She's gone.
gone.
She bolts.
She's
She's
out
like, oh,
rolling
fuck.
down. She's out rolling down the hill.
Yeah, rolling down that hill.
into the bushes. and
And
he
like,
puts that gun in his mouth
oh my god,
to go after her. He takes off them rubber gloves. God damn it, James Spader.
fuck.
Getting hot.
It's getting hot in here.
Oh, so
when
he
she
goes
take
after
off
her,
his clothes.
but this car stops right
Yeah.
in front of her, right as he's about
Right,
to
because she
shoot.
stumbles out in the street. It's like, oh fuck. And then also Dosmo and the gang come by, and Audrey's like, I gotta get out of the car. I'm a nurse. I
Right,
have
so
to-
they see Helga bleeding in the road, so
Right.
Audrey gets out to help. And Lee sees Dosmo. He's up there hiding in the trees, and he sees Dosmo, but
and
Dosmo doesn't see him.
Dosmo sees Helga because I think he knows her
From the picture, at least.
And
Well,
he's
but
like,
when
"Oh,
he asked
fuck."
him, he's like, let me see that picture, when he saw that it was
Right,
like
right,
naked.
right.
And he
But
didn't
I
let him
think-
see it.
I think he knew who she was because it seems like that's why he got back in the car. Like, oh fuck, he kind of looked up.
Right.
Lee's
Like, we
gotta
gotta
be
go.
around here somewhere. So
Yeah.
he just takes off, leaving Audrey and Teddy there with her while she dies.
And
She speaks
Charlize's death is very convincing.
very much.
She did a really
She
good,
died real good.
not over the top, dead with her eyes open
For
like
her,
you do, you know?
Right, and she is dead with her eyes open.
Yeah.
But like it was for her.
I thought
first
it was
movie,
good. Yeah.
She's a damn good actress.
She is.
She's a goddamn good actress.
I'm sorry I have to deduct a point for Eon Flux, but that's not your
well,
fault.
that was not her fault.
Nobody was going to be able to do that.
Nobody was gonna do it. Not
You did
even
what you could.
Charlize.
She was 19 during this.
Wow.
I have a child who's 19.
Okay.
I can't
well,
even imagine.
Now I feel a little weird.
Okay, but when we were 19,
that's true.
yeah.
That's true. That's true.
1990s 19 is not
Is
the
a-
same as
yeah.
the 2020s 19. I'm just gonna let y'all
1996,
know.
19 is also, yeah. No, you're right.
Because I would have been doing that when I was 19. If I had that opportunity.
For James
And
Spader,
James Spa-
you go ahead, rip it right up.
Yep.
You go
Yep,
ahead,
yep,
rip
yep.
it right.
And
the
I would have
fuck
thought
up.
I am grown.
Oh yes,
I am grown.
I am an adult.
I am
doing all
ready to
kinds of
be in
wild shit.
situations with guns
Yep.
and drugs
Yep.
and crimes.
Fully ready.
Give me all the crimes.
Yep. I got my
But
lingerie
thinking
on.
of my 19-year-old in that
Not your
situation, there's
19-year-old.
no way.
Not your 19.
No way.
But us as 19-year-olds.
For sure. For sure. So Lee's back at the house getting his money, and Wes starts waking up, stumbling out right as Dosmo pulls up.
Right.
And now, because he was at the
Susan's
house. Okay,
driving.
you're right.
She's like, I'm
Yes.
going to drive you. So they pull up. He yells at Eric Stoltz to get the fuck down.
And they just start having a
shooting at
gunfight,
each other.
yeah.
Yes.
So Lee's loving this shit.
Oh
The
man, he's
smile
like
on
laughing.
his face, that
he's
laugh.
having a good ass fucking time.
Oh, I can't even remember what the laugh sounded like, but it was evil.
It was and it was
It
really hot.
evil and hot.
And so it's like he goes, "Go on, come and get him, come save him." And like
Yeah.
fucking Eric Stoltz, like, "Don't go over there, don't
You
risk
can save
yourself
him.
for me."
Fuck him, I'm coming to get you.
I'm like,
Ooh,
come
come
on.
get me, Dumbo.
Right?
Just
He's like,
taunting
I
him.
don't care because he pulls his badge like fuck a cop, a cab.
He just
I don't
starts
give a
shooting
fuck.
him in
Yeah,
the
he,
legs
like,
and
wounds him.
shit.
He's like, fuck. So Dosmo, in this like incredibly brave
Because he knew he had a bulletproof vest on, I guess, is why he decided
true.
to be brave
That's
about
true.
it. Because why are you saving it? Maybe he thought saving the cop was going to like get him out of trouble. I don't know.
Maybe. Or he's just because he calls him a coward. Like, you're going to shoot him while he's down.
Right.
You know, and he shoots him in the back. So he doesn't go for that shit. I can't go for that. This disrespectful shit. Like, Dosmo doesn't play like
But
that.
Lee does not care. He saunters out and just steps on Wes. He's just
oh
like,
my God. He
time's
shoots him in the
up.
leg. And he goes to shoot him. And then,
empty shots. Click, 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 click.
yes,
click, click.
Dosmo rolls over like, oh, but he's out of fucking bullets, yo.
And Lee notices now, oh, you have a bulletproof vest on.
Yeah,
you
like,
tricky
oh,
son
aren't
of a
you
bitch.
clever? I don't know why you never went for a headshot with anybody else but that lady detective.
Right? Only that lady detective got one
Wow.
right
oh,
to the fucking brain.
And, Roy.
Oh, yeah.
Roy
that's
and the
true.
detective were the only two people that got headshots. It seems like he's capable.
So, yeah, he's talking shit and he goes to shoot him, but fucking
Out
Teddy.
of nowhere, because Teddy watches him leave.
Because he was with Audrey
Yes.
still, right? He stayed at the
I
accident.
assume
It must have been
Audrey is
very
still-
close.
It must have been like right up the road. So Teddy wanders up there and takes Lee out.
Just bam. Just Lee is gone.
right? Lee is dead.
He can't even live to go have a secretary.
No.
Nope.
So Dosmo picks up the money and he tries to hand it to Eric Stoltz. Like,
And he just like he
He's like,
points
"You
a
know
gun
what?
at him and he goes to hand him the box and he's like, nah.
I'm
go
not
ahead."
even supposed to be here
I
today.
know. So Dosmo thanks Teddy. Teddy thanks him. Teddy offers him the gun and he's like, nah.
Nah, I don't want it. And Teddy's like, no, thank you for like giving me a reason to live, I guess. I don't know.
And once again, we're going to sing it again because Becky's running up that hill.
Yes, she is.
And
If I only could.
to a Ford Explorer with a
make
hidden
deal
key.
with Lee.
And she's free to ski.
Free to ski.
She's going to ski in Japan. She's driving to Japan.
No, she's driving to Japan.
She's got a
right?
Japan
She's gonna
1998
take
bumper
her
sticker.
Ford Explorer to Japan with her skis, and that's it.
She's going to have it picked up by a helicopter and transported across the sea.
That's what that song's about.
And now it's a 50th anniversary party. Audrey, the nurse, is attending to the oldies when
Right.
Teddy comes up with Bogey.
Uh-huh.
Susan and Dosmo are, and now, so that made it seem like it was sometime later, but
Right,
then
but it
Susan
was,
and
like,
Dosmo
later
are like
that
still
day.
in Aunt Alan's convertible.
I know. I don't know how
Audrey
that
just went
works.
back to work after this.
I guess we just right. Did you, where she like? I guess Helga died. I don't know. I
Right?
guess I'm just gonna catch her right out of here. So yeah, Teddy goes to visit her. That's like all nice now.
And Susan
and
realizes
Dosmo-
where she knows Dosmo from.
She realized it earlier
Yeah.
from the
Polly's Pizza in
Polly's
Studio
Pizza.
City.
Yeah, and he's like, really? Whatever. He's like, this money, we could open up a pizzeria in Brooklyn.
He gives her a kiss and she almost crashes.
Right. And she's like, you know what? Something's been bothering me since I met you.
Take off that rug.
Take off the rug. Or she takes it off his
Yeah.
head and he gets upset. And she's like, no, really.
She's like, you look better without it.
You
He's
look
like, don't
you're
ever
cry-
do that
He looks
again.
like Friar fucking Tuck. You
Yes,
look better
he
without it.
does. He got that Friar Tuck hairdo.
What in the Friar Tuck is going on here?
And at first he's mad and he goes to put it back on, but he looks at himself and he chucks it into the wind.
Right.
She gives him the
The
Italian kiss
hand.
hand. Yes. Mwah.
Mwah. So
And that's
happily
the end.
ever after for most people.
For everybody but the bad guys, I get. Well,
for
and
Lee,
the
for
detectives.
Helga, the detectives. Yeah, it wasn't too hot for them. I mean, Eric Stoltz did get shot, but he's probably fine. Jeff Daniels still lost his job.
Yeah, Teri Hatcher's on her way to the Olympics.
She's going to Nagano.
And she was the one who started all this shit.
I know. So wait a minute, she gets away with this shit?
I guess so. And she got all that insurance money because she didn't have to split it 3 ways.
That's right. She did.
She won.
She did.
She won the valley.
She won the valley.
And this is another one that doomed us to want a fucking bad boy.
I know. Like, not even just a bad boy. That's not a bad boy. That's a
evil boy.
psychotic.
That's a psychotic.
That's a psycho boy.
And like we said in the beginning, we're ashamed.
Oh, yeah, I'm not proud of this.
We
but-
realize it's wrong.
And we're not
bad.
the only ones. Are you fucking kidding me? I went to see this in the movie theater with like 8 other people, and every single one was hot for fucking James Spader. Boys, girls, all of us.
Between
we're all
him
sick.
and Charlize Theron, I mean, hello, bisexual dream.
Something for fucking
like
everybody.
I said, put me in the
Something
middle.
for fucking every. I'll take a
I'll be the
sandwich.
ice girl. You want me to hold the bucket?
Right? I'll hold the bucket, sit in the
I'll
cuff
just stand
chair.
there with my. I will never blink. I'll just be there holding the bucket.
I will
like,
never blink.
I'll just be frozen in
Just
time.
frozen
Like,
in time.
oh wow. Okay,
That's-
this is
oh,
happening
wow.
in front of me.
Oh wow.
All right. That's something.
That's something.
Oh, so yeah,
Oh,
we got
man.
more salacious movies coming for you the
Yes.
next couple of weeks.
Oh yes.
Before we get into spooky month.
Ooh, first is salacious. First we make it sexy.
First we get y'all sexy up.
And then we scare you. Boo!
Ah! I'll dry it up real quick. It all sucked it right back in. You got so scared.
Boo! Don't talk, you'll make it creep back up.
Oh my God. We might have messages. I've been bad about looking for those things. If you have a message, you can
You have
text
a
it or
message. She
call-
just bought a house.
I know.
she's
I'm
busy.
in escrow, you guys.
I'm in escrow. She's a homeowner.
Unfortunately, not. Stop name calling me.
I know.
Unfortunately,
Homeowner.
not in the valley. That would
No.
be better, honestly.
No.
I'd
It's
rather
kind
live
of
in
like
Studio
a valley,
City.
but not the valley.
No.
I'll live in Pasadena.
Oh,
That'd be
God,
nice.
That'd be
I know.
beautiful. You got $3 million for a fucking
Sure.
3-bedroom house.
Just lying around.
What,
Just
that's
lying
the
around.
half bath?
Yeah, Pasadena money. Yeah, half
Yeah.
bath, 900 square feet.
Sure.
1 mil at least.
At least 1.2.
Yeah. Oh my
You
God.
do not get a sex mansion for that kind of money.
No. Oh God. Harry posted something about, because I told him how the bedroom in this house is separate from the kids' house, and when I tweeted about that were in escrow, he just put in all caps, "Sex dungeon time."
Sex dungeon.
He keeps saying that's going to be the sex dungeon because it's separate from.
You could put a swing and a pole and a.
How disturbing for my
Cage.
children who are fully old enough to know what all
I
of
know.
that is to come into our room and be like, "Oh,
What is happening here, Ma?
you think we don't know?"
You're like,
Right?
"It's a hammock."
Right?
Well, I made jokes about.
I have the internet, Ma.
That bed we have now has those drawers, but
Oh, yeah.
the drawers are black metal
Oh.
wire or whatever when
Oh.
you pull it open. So it
Oh.
looks like when you go to pull the drawers out, like, is that one of them cage beds?
Those are your BDSM drawers.
Like if you took the drawers out, I think you could.
So that's where
maybe
you
make
keep the ball
a
gags?
cage. You could maybe make it.
Be
a
like,
cage.
oh, where's your husband at? Like,
He's under the bed. He was bad.
He's hog-tied in the bed frame.
Oh.
Cute.
And on that beautiful romantic
Right?
note,
You think about that shit. And you know what? Come on back next time.
we'll talk at you next week.
Later,
Doomers.